Hello everyone, I am Left, and today I have a new video for you guys. Sorry, it's been a while. I've been really busy, like, restarting school and everything, and I've also been restarting, like, regular streams on my Twitch channel. So, if you haven't actually already followed me on my Twitch channel, go to Left Specters VG on Twitch and follow me. You'll get notifications whenever I stream, which is pretty often now that I'm back in my dorm, and stuff like that. So, I've gotten a few requests recently for a video about how to go from tiers 8 or 9 to Vainglorious. So that's what I'm going to do today. But before I start, you've probably already noticed the game in the background is not Vainglory. The game in the background is called Fury. I bought it yesterday and it is fun as hell. This is gameplay of me defeating the second boss of the game, some sort of tortured girl with a laser beam for a face. Creepy, gonna give me nightmares. Anyways, lots of players stagnate once they reach the quote-unquote higher tiers. Simply amazing and pinnacle of awesome. Vainglorious is truly a journey to reach for any player, and it's assumed that if you're there, you're very proficient in at least one role. For me, when I first made Vainglorious, that was support, but that was also back in spring season of 2016. For me, that was support. I only played support going up through POA. If I ever had to lane, we lost, because I couldn't play anything but support. Thankfully, there's a lot of openings on solo queue teams for supports. Now I play everything, but that was a long time ago, and it doesn't really matter now. When you're in tiers 8 or 9, there are some prerequisites that you will need in order to move up to tier 10. And I'm going to list them here. The first one is an in-depth understanding of each hero, and you should probably also have at least 20 heroes unlocked. If you have no experience playing as or against a certain hero, what are you going to do if the meta shifts in said hero's favor? This plays into a point that I will make later as well. Another point would be an in-depth understanding of drafting, counters, and busted heroes of the current patch. A good example would be in 2.11. If you are currently completely oblivious to Varia's power and you neglect her in draft, you'll find yourself losing a lot. To win more consistently in high tiers, you need to know what's going on in the meta. Always read patch notes. Play near heroes in practice if you can't buy them. Watch Vainglory 8 or pro streamers to figure out what the meta looks like, and apply that to your own games, because if you don't, you'll be out of touch and playing things that your teammates just think are awful. That's not to say be a meta slave. If you find a good way to break the meta and it works, use it. But with that said, playing CP Rona and winning in Blitz does not mean that you broke the meta and you can now take that to ranked. Probably the biggest point of this whole video is flexibility. I have this section in all caps because I am very passionate about it. People in Vainglorious don't even have this. Listen to what I say here very carefully. Do not go into draft and highlight weapon carry or CP jungler or whatever without first trying to see what your team wants to play. It makes you seem like an entitled little prick, and it can easily force your teammates onto roles they are uncomfortable with, raising the stress level on the whole team and making everybody more likely to throw. I got to Vainglorious by being flexible and playing whatever my team needed. You will not get to Vainglorious by playing the same hero or position every damn game. Ranked in high POA is sweaty, because everybody wants that last point to Vainglorious. Vainglory in general is not a one-man show. It's also not a game where one-trick ponies can shine like maybe Overwatch. Work with your team and you will win. That doesn't just mean listening to their pings in game, that also means working with them in draft. Seeing what they want to play before you lock in. I have to repeat this again. Do not pre-highlight positions in draft with no regard for what your teammates want. Like, when I see a player do that in my ranked games, my first impression of them is idiot, probably really likely to troll. I'm not kidding. That's what my first impression is when people do that to me on my team. Anyways, moving on. Stay calm. You're probably thinking this right now. Left says work with your team, but I always get trolls and idiots, and those can't be worked with. Well, sometimes you do. I went over this in my last video. There's not much you can do about them. But what you can do something about is your attitude. This is starting to sound a whole lot like my last video, isn't it? And if you let a troll ruin your attitude, you will continue to lose more and more games afterwards. If you aren't already, you always need to be looking at the mini-map. Oops, I just skipped into another point. Anyways, if you aren't already, you need to always be looking at the mini-map. Good map awareness is key to Vainglory, especially at higher levels. I was playing on stream last night, and we had a Kestrel on our team. I mean, why anybody would be playing Weapon Kestrel in 2.11 is far beyond me. But anyways, what would happen is I was Crystal Blackfeather, and the enemy Koshka would move through our tri-bush. I would exchange blows with her. We would both end up on like half health. I would move back to take my back healer and my double backs. Koshka on vision the entire time, and Kestrel would just not react. She would keep farming and let herself be killed by a half health Koshka. It was like she was completely blind and disregarding the minimap entirely. Good map awareness is key. We lost that game. You know why? Because the Kestrel was 1 and 12. Yeah, I was 6 and 4 as Crystal Blackfeather. But anyways, good map awareness is being able to predict where the enemy team is based on either where my team is and where my team isn't, or our current rotation pattern, or also by straight up guessing how long it takes a certain hero to move from point A to point B. Good map awareness results in more kills and less deaths in general. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the 2-loss rule. If you lose 2 games in a row, stop playing for at least an hour. If you don't, you will either get depressed and lose more, or you will fall into the gambler's fallacy and continue to lose more. The gambler's fallacy goes like this. It's like an internal belief that kind of originated in casinos. If a player has lost a lot of times in a row and has lost tons of money, they start to think in their brain, there's a higher chance that I'm going to win this time because I've lost so many times before. This time, this will be the time that I win because I lost before. Now that I lost 10 times, I have a better chance to win on the 11th time. That's not true, and it's contributed to lots of people gambling their family savings away. It really pays dividends to stop playing and recover a bit after consecutive losses. So, all of these things are skills that you'll need if you're going to be moving from tiers 8 and 9 to tier 10. If you can develop these skills and cultivate them, and then you move into tier 10, you'll probably already be better than half of tier 10. So many people in Vainglorious don't pay attention to the meta, don't know how to draft, don't know how to play, like that Kestrel I was telling you about. It's crazy. It's just, it's mind-boggling. It's like, imagine going to Challenger in League of Legends and having people play like they're in Bronze. It hurts your brain, I think, a little bit. Well, at least it hurts my brain. And I know that it hurts my teammates' brains, too. When I see Starboy stream, he always gets these people on his team that just don't know how to play. And I get the same thing on my stream. Once again, if you haven't followed me on Twitch, please do. I stream a lot more than I post videos right now, actually. And I'm working on getting Twitch partnered, which will be really cool. So, that is going to be it for this video, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned something useful. Thank you for coming out, and also, if you have any questions about the game that's in the background, holy cow, I love this game. So, it's just so satisfying. Like, the game itself is really simple. It's hack and slash, boss rushing. You move from one boss to the next, and that's the entire game. There's some dialogue and story in between, and some walking, and there's a little bit of variation in the kinds of levels. But at its core, this is a boss rushing game, and that's all it is. So, yeah, I love this game so far. I play it on PC with a controller plugged in. It's amazingly fun. It's like $19 on Steam right now. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, leave those down below. If you have any questions about the video, leave those down below. Check me out on Twitter. If you're watching this video right as it comes out, Nova is playing in VIS in about 2.5 hours, so come watch us. It'll be fun. I'll see you guys all later. Thanks for watching.